You might be doing something every day that's unintentionally making people uncomfortable, and you don't even know it. Maybe it's something you do every day, without realizing its impact on your relationships. If you leave this video early, you'll never find out what these habits are, but if you watch all the way to the end, you'll learn exactly how to improve them. So let's start with mistake 1, not taking care of yourself. As we grow older, some habits we used to take for granted might start slipping. It's easy to fall into the routine of wearing the same clothes for a few days, or perhaps skipping a brush through our hair. After all, it doesn't feel as important as it once did, right? But here's the thing. These small acts of self-care can speak volumes to those around you. When you don't pay attention to your appearance, even in small ways like not trimming your nails or leaving your clothes a little too wrinkled, it sends a message. It can be seen as a sign that you no longer care about yourself, even if that's not your intention. We all age, and it's normal to slow down. But looking after yourself in simple ways, whether it's putting on a fresh shirt, brushing your hair, or simply washing your face, sends a message that you still respect and value yourself. You may not realize it, but people notice these changes. They won't necessarily bring it up, especially if you have younger family members who may not know how to talk about it without hurting your feelings. They might even start to sit further away, avoid hugs, or shorten their visits. This happens because they're responding not to the person you are, but to the message your self-care, or lack of it, is sending. Here's the good news. You can change this. You don't need to dress like you're going to a fashion show every day, but a little bit of effort goes a long way. Taking the time to care for your personal hygiene, like brushing your hair, wearing a clean shirt, or trimming your nails, shows others that you still value yourself and that you're still present in the world. And that will invite others to treat you with respect, warmth, and kindness. So next time you feel like skipping those small self-care steps, remember that they matter more than you think. It's not about perfection. It's about feeling good about yourself and showing the world that you're still here and still care. Mistake 2. Wearing clothes that don't fit anymore. Comfort is key as we age, and there's no shame in choosing clothes that feel good. But sometimes we get so used to wearing the same old clothes that we don't realize they don't fit us as well as they used to. Maybe those pants are a bit loose or too tight, or that shirt is starting to look a little outdated. It's easy to think, who cares? I'm comfortable. But the truth is, the way we present ourselves to the world can say a lot about how we feel about ourselves. When you wear clothes that don't fit properly, it can unintentionally send a message to those around you. It can make you seem disconnected from the present moment, as if you've stopped paying attention to yourself. When you wear clothes that fit well and reflect who you are now, not who you were 20 years ago, it shows that you're still engaged and active in life. It's about showing respect for yourself and for those around you. Now, I'm not saying you need to start wearing the latest trends or throw away all your favorite old clothes. But maybe, just maybe, it's time for a small change. A well-fitted pair of pants, a shirt that flatters your current body shape, or even a simple update to your wardrobe can make a huge difference in how you feel about yourself and how others perceive you. It doesn't have to be about fashion. It's about dignity. When people see that you've made an effort to look after yourself, it sends a message that you still value yourself, and that's something that will help you feel confident and respected as you move through the world. Mistake 3. Saying everything that comes to mind. As we get older, we often feel like we've earned the right to speak our minds without holding back. And while there's nothing wrong with honesty, there's a fine line between being truthful and being hurtful. Sometimes what we think is a harmless comment can come across as rude or insensitive to the people around us. You might find yourself saying things like, "Well, that's just how I see it," or making remarks about someone's weight, appearance, or even how they raise their children. You may even brush it off with a laugh and say, "I'm just being honest. No need to be so sensitive." But here's the truth. What may feel like honesty to you can actually hurt someone else. It's not about sugarcoating your words or pretending to be something you're not. It's about being mindful of how your words can affect others. Think about the last time you made a comment that seemed perfectly fine to you, but made someone else uncomfortable. Maybe you noticed they stopped smiling or gave you a stiff response. That's a sign that what you said might have crossed a line. People don't always tell you when your words hurt them. They simply start to pull away. They might stop calling as often or avoid certain topics around you. And before you know it, you'll feel a distance between you and the people you care about. So, what can you do? The next time you feel the urge to speak your mind, take a moment to think before you speak. Ask yourself, is this helpful? Is this kind? If it's not, it might be best to keep it to yourself. Honesty is important, but kindness is even more crucial. When you wrap your honesty in kindness, it strengthens your relationships and builds trust. So remember, it's not about holding back. It's about speaking with empathy. And that's something that will keep your relationships strong as you grow older. Mistake 4. Not being aware of personal space. We've all been there. You're standing in the middle of a busy grocery aisle scanning the shelves, and suddenly you realize someone's trying to get by. Or maybe you're in a conversation with someone, and you find yourself standing just a little too close. As we age, we sometimes become less aware of how our actions affect others, especially when it comes to personal space. But here's the thing. While these things may seem small, they can make others uncomfortable. It's not about being inconsiderate. It's just that sometimes, without realizing it, we become a bit more oblivious to the world around us. People don't usually say anything. They might just give you a little sigh, step around you, or avoid eye contact. Over time, these little moments can add up. They might start avoiding situations where they have to be in close proximity to you, and you won't even know why. So, how can you fix this? It's simple. Just be more mindful of the space you're taking up. Whether you're in a crowded store or having a conversation, make sure you're not standing too close or blocking others' paths. A little bit of awareness goes a long way. When you show that you're aware of how your movements affect others, it makes people feel comfortable around you. And that's what keeps your relationship strong. It's not about moving faster. It's about moving with grace and consideration. Mistake 5. Talking too much and not listening. We all want to share our stories, especially as we get older and feel like we've lived a full life. But sometimes, in our eagerness to share, we forget the importance of listening. If you find that you're talking more than listening, it might be time to slow down. Conversations should be a two-way street. When you dominate the conversation and don't allow others to speak, it can make people feel unheard. And when people feel unheard, they start to pull away. Listening is just as important as talking. When you let others share their thoughts, you show them that you value their perspective. It strengthens relationships and builds trust. And here's a little secret. When you truly listen, people will start to come to you more. They'll value your opinion and want to share their experiences with you. But when every conversation becomes a one-way street, it pushes people away. So, what can you do? Try to listen more than you speak. Ask questions, pause, and let the other person share their thoughts. Give them room to express themselves fully. The more you listen, more people will want to engage with you. And that's what keeps relationships alive and healthy. Remember, it's not just about speaking your truth. It's about hearing others' truths as well. Mistake 6. Constantly criticizing younger generations. We've all heard the classic, "back in my day" stories, and it's normal to feel like the younger generation doesn't understand how things used to be. But when those comments become a regular part of our conversations, it can make younger people feel like we don't respect them. Constantly criticizing their choices, technology, or ways of doing things can create a wall between generations, even though that's not what you intend. It's not about agreeing with everything the younger generation does, but it's about showing curiosity and understanding. Instead of saying, "These kids today don't know how to work hard," try asking, "What's it like trying to make it today?" This opens the door to conversations that build connections, rather than drive wedges. Everyone has different experiences, and by showing a willingness to learn from each other, you build stronger, more meaningful relationships. We're all products of our time, and we can't expect the younger generations to have the same perspective. They have their own challenges and lessons to learn. By approaching them with respect and curiosity, you're fostering dialogue and learning from one another. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, "They have it so easy," try shifting that perspective and ask them about their world instead. You'll be amazed at how much you can learn from each other. Mistake 7. Making the same joke over and over. We all have our favorite jokes and phrases that have always gotten a good laugh, and there's nothing wrong with a little humor. It's one of the best parts of life. But sometimes the jokes we make, even if they were funny years ago, start to feel stale. Whether it's a joke about someone's appearance, an old stereotype, or a comment that was funny decades ago but feels out of place today, it can push people away without you realizing it. Humor is a wonderful tool to lighten the mood and connect with others, but there's a fine line between funny and insensitive. When we repeat the same jokes over and over, it might feel comfortable, but it can also make others uncomfortable, especially if those jokes no longer align with the values of today's world. We live in a time that emphasizes respect, inclusivity, and kindness. What was once funny might now be seen as disrespectful or out of touch. So, think twice before telling that same joke. Consider how the other person might feel. Is it really funny? Or are you holding on to something from the past that's no longer serving the conversation? Humor that uplifts and includes others is what brings us closer, not humor that makes someone feel small. So, next time you find yourself about to tell that old joke, pause and ask yourself, is this joke still relevant today? The answer might surprise you. Mistake 8. Ignoring technology. Let's face it, technology can be overwhelming. Phones, computers, smart gadgets. It all seems like it moves at lightning speed, and sometimes it feels easier to just avoid it altogether. But ignoring technology can create a gap between you and the world around you, especially if you're missing out on simple tools that can improve your daily life. It's not about becoming a tech expert, but it's about staying connected with those you love and finding ways to make your life easier. Maybe it's learning how to send a text or making a video call to your grandkids. Maybe it's using an online grocery store for the convenience it offers. These small steps can help you feel more connected to the world, and it doesn't have to be difficult. Technology doesn't have to be scary. It can be a tool that keeps you engaged with your loved ones, keeps you informed, and even makes life more fun. Don't let it intimidate you. Start with one small thing. Ask a family member to show you how to send a photo or search for something online. you'll be surprised at how quickly it can become second nature. And before you know it, you'll feel more connected and up to date with the world around you. Mistake 9. Relying on others too much. Getting older comes with its share of physical changes, and it's completely normal to need help from time to time. But there's a difference between asking for help when you truly need it and relying on others for things you can still do yourself. Over time, constantly asking for help, even with small tasks, can unintentionally make those around you feel burdened or drained. While family members and friends want to help and support you, it's important to maintain a sense of independence. When you rely on others for things you can do yourself, it can create an imbalance in relationships. It's not about pushing yourself to do everything on your own, but about maintaining your autonomy and showing others that you still have the strength to participate in life. So ask yourself, can I do this on my own? If the answer is yes, give it a try. It could be something as simple as making your own breakfast or figuring out how to open a new jar. The act of doing these small things yourself not only boosts your confidence, but it also shows your loved ones that you're still active and independent, which is a beautiful thing. Mistake 10. Not asking for help when you really need it. On the flip side, there's also a tendency to avoid asking for help when we truly need it, whether it's because of pride or the fear of being a burden. Many older adults hesitate to ask for assistance, even when it's necessary. But here's the thing. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it shows strength and wisdom. It's important to recognize that no one can do everything alone, no matter their age. If you're struggling with something, whether it's carrying something heavy, managing a new health issue, or simply needing emotional support, don't hesitate to reach out. Your family and friends want to be there for you. They love you, and they want to help. They just might not know how unless you ask. The key is understanding that asking for help doesn't take away from your independence. It's a way to keep your relationship strong by allowing others to feel needed and valued. Plus, when you ask for help, you're letting others show their care for you, and that builds a deeper connection. So, don't hold back when you need it. Reach out. You'll be surprised at how much lighter you'll feel when you do. Mistake 11. Overloading yourself with feel-good. Nostalgia. As we age, it's natural to reminisce about the good old days. We often find comfort in old memories, and we love to talk about the past, whether it's about the music we used to listen to, the way things were, or stories from our youth. But here's the thing. When we keep focusing too much on the past, it can unintentionally leave us stuck there. Talking about the good old days is fine, but when we overdo it, we may unintentionally come across as someone who's resisting the present. It can make the people around us feel like we're not engaged in the world as it is now. It might even create a sense of distance between us and younger people who are still forging ahead in their own lives. It's important to remember that while the past is a beautiful part of who we are, it's just that, the past. Instead of only reminiscing about what was, try focusing on the present. Embrace new experiences, explore modern interests, and connect with younger generations. They may even surprise you with fresh perspectives. The beauty of aging is that you can carry the lessons and stories from your past into a future that's just as rich with possibility. Mistake 12. Ignoring signs of mental fatigue. As we age, our bodies might feel different, but so does our mind. Mental fatigue can be something that creeps up on us slowly. We might find ourselves getting tired more easily after doing something that used to be a breeze, like reading a book, watching a movie, or having a conversation. But because this fatigue builds up gradually, it can be hard to recognize when it's affecting our mood or our ability to focus. What often happens is that instead of acknowledging we need a break, we push through. This can lead to irritability, frustration, or even feeling disconnected from what's going on around us. You might find yourself zoning out during conversations or feeling like you just can't focus like you used to. It's easy to assume that this is just part of aging, but it doesn't have to be. If you're feeling mentally exhausted, it's important to listen to your body. Take breaks, prioritize rest, and don't be afraid to slow down. It's okay to acknowledge that your mind needs time to recharge, just like your body does. Taking care of your mental health is just as important as physical health, and recognizing when you need to rest will help you feel more connected and less overwhelmed by daily life. Mistake 13. Being too stubborn about trying new things. As we get older, it's easy to fall into routines. After years of doing things a certain way, we can become set in our habits. Trying new things can seem overwhelming or even unnecessary, especially when you've found a routine that works. But here's the thing. Refusing to try new things, whether it's learning a new hobby, trying a new food, or even getting familiar with new technology, can close us off from new experiences. The world around us is constantly changing and embracing that change, whether it's picking up a new skill or simply being open to new ideas, can help us stay sharp and engaged. When we limit ourselves to what's familiar, we risk missing out on things that could bring joy, connection, and even a sense of accomplishment. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone every once in a while. Whether it's learning how to use a smartphone or picking up a hobby you've always wanted to try, there's always room for new adventures, no matter your age. And who knows, you might find something that excites you in ways you never expected. Mistake 14. Holding on to old grudges. It's natural to have conflicts and disagreements throughout life, but as we get older, we sometimes carry those grudges with us for years, sometimes without even realizing it. We may hold on to old arguments or past hurts, thinking we're justified in our feelings. But in reality, these unresolved issues can weigh us down emotionally. The thing is, holding on to grudges doesn't hurt the person who wronged you as much as it hurts you. It creates emotional baggage that can affect your relationships with others, including family members and friends. It can make you feel disconnected or distant from those around you, even when you don't realize it. The bitterness or resentment that comes from holding on to these emotions can affect your overall well-being and leave you feeling heavy, even if you're not consciously thinking about it. It's never too late to let go. Forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of carrying that grudge. When you release old grudges, you open yourself up to peace and emotional freedom, and that can improve your relationships and your mental health as you age. Mistake 15. Relying on routine too much. We all love a good routine. It keeps life feeling structured and predictable. But sometimes, as we grow older, we can become too reliant on our routines, sticking to what's comfortable and familiar. The problem with that is, when we don't mix things up, we can unintentionally isolate ourselves from new experiences or even people. Routine can be great for maintaining stability, but when you get too comfortable with the same old, it can stop you from experiencing the joy that comes with trying something new. It might make you feel disconnected from the world as it changes around you. For example, you might be used to a certain group of friends or family, but you might be missing out on opportunities to meet new people or engage with different communities. Try breaking away from your usual routine every now and then. Take a different route to the store, visit a new place, or engage in a new activity that you've never considered. These small changes can bring a refreshing sense of novelty and make you feel more connected to the present moment.